Hey, this is Chris UX, and welcome to another UX portfolio review. I am a UX designer for the Inspire Agency, which we are based here in Atlanta, Georgia. I appreciate all of you that have been reaching out with your portfolios. I'm trying to get through them as fast as I can. If you are a UX designer and like have your portfolio reviewed, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn under Chris UX. Just connect with me, drop me a message. I have a post there. You can drop your link in the post, but you don't see the post, that's fine. Then drop me a message, and I definitely check out your portfolio and let you know what I think. Just to give you a heads up ahead of time, this is just strictly my opinion. Just take it with a grain of salt, So don't think it's just right or wrong to your portfolio. To this person, this is based off my personal opinion. But hope you enjoy. So tonight we're gonna go over. Well, I'll probably be posting this tomorrow morning. We're going over Rachel's UX portfolio. How you doing, Rachel? All right, see what we got here. I'm Rachel. I'm the Mary Poppins of UX design, making design practically perfect in every way by empowering users beyond the pixels on the screen. Cool. I like your bio here. I like your picture here and your dog. Cool. So it's personality here. Smiling with the dog. This is a nice background here. I am a seasoned leader in human-centered design with over 16 years experience in specializing and using design strategy and innovation to reshape customer experiences across diverse industries. My expertise inspires me to will influence effectively, fostering cross-functional collaboration and consensus in even the most challenging environments. Cool. And I like a little drop down, will set you apart. Cool. All right. Cool. A little more personality here. Cool. All right, down to your projects. I'm going to go over 2 of your case studies here. So we start off with Sonder, a mobile app redesign that adds a new feature that will allow users to book event spaces. Okay. Tools used in your role here. All right. Sonder aspires to revolutionize the hospitality industry, striving to deliver exceptional experiences in every location, recognizing the need to distinguish themselves in the crowded marketplace. They sought a groundbreaking solution in conceptualizing a novel feature enabling event-based bookings that aim to create a unique one-stop destination, setting them apart from their competitors. Okay. Get to roll here. On here, if we go back here, it says it's a mobile app redesign. I will reiterate that here. It's cool. It's your prototype here. You got a small video here for them to look at. Cool. That actually works. That's cool. Okay. I like the header here, but I wonder you should put the header at the very top of your page here instead of down here. It'd be cool to leave off with the graphic at the very top, in my opinion. But either or. Project overview, objectives. Create a more intuitive, informative, and user-friendly website experience. Now, again, the first page here said app redesign. Here he's saying website experience. Which one is it? Integrate new feature, implement one-click methodology, be proficient in creating wireframes, user flows and presentations, deliver impactful end-to-end user experience, maintain brand awareness, consumer perception, and consumer expectation, achieve deliverables in a short 2-week sprint. Challenges building pages designed that will rank without compromising the main navigation pages. Developing a tool to manage the hundreds of locations to actively create location-specific landing pages with location-specific contact information and venues. You have a lot of challenges here. Deciding which problem to solve and what order, conducting research under time constraints, bridging the gap between design and development. This is a lot. I'll cut all this down. The main thing is you wanted to do a mobile app redesign. It's like it is an app. I'll change this to a user-friendly mobile app experience and website because they're 2 different things. Unless it's a mobile website. That could be wrong. I keep reading down. Be proficient in creating wireframes, user flows, presentations. I don't think that should be your objective here. Your objective is solving the problem here. Impactful in the end user experience, brand awareness. Okay, and building pages and designs that can rank without compromising. Yeah, like you have a lot to, there's a lot here. There's a lot to process here. I'll try to just keep reiterating the point of this is a mobile app redesign. Mobile app redesign. So your results. I personally like showing my results at the end, but more and more I see some people like put results at the top. But yeah, that's cool. It looks nice though. I like the mock-up. Keep going down. 55% increase in site performance, 80% increase in user interactivity, 27% reduced booking time. Okay. User research. We're on a tight deadline, so we decided to take the first sprint for research and technical spike to dive in, understand the best plan of action for work involved, Saunders MVP. We immediately kicked off the project by holding discovery interviews with participants that shared the need to book an event space. We use app example mapping and affinity mapping exercise to identify all of the use cases for booking spaces. To gain a deeper understanding of the complexity of the problem, we spent intensive time completing empathy map, user personas, and competitive analysis so we can emphasize with the user and deliver a product that is both intuitive and fun to use. Well, here you said under your objectives that you achieve your deliverables in a short 2-week sprint. Here you're saying that you did your research in the first sprint. Because assuming if this is only a 2-week project, the project is a sprint. So from how you had this worded, that you did everything, but you only did the research in your sprint. You didn't have time to do anything else. I would reword that if this is not correct. I need to use Google, Peerspace, Airbnb, Yelp to find and book my venues, access to the host, to see what's included and not included in the booking, look at availability, pricing, amenities. Okay. Create a deep understanding of who we're designing for, what's responsible in creating a product that our users found easy to use and achieve our CX goals. Design team want to gain a deep insight that provided a more clear-cut direction that will fully communicate with our research findings. Creating both personas to keep as our North Star and this project critical in the success of the sprint. My thing is, again, here you said there's a mobile app redesign, right? So if it's a mobile app redesign, that implies that it's an original app already there. I kind of went through this briefly before I recorded. So I get to understand this is a project. So since it's a project, it really is really not a, there wouldn't be an original app to redesign. So if that's the case, I would reword that because a redesign implies that the original app is already there. But you didn't show the original app because I feel like if there was a original app and this is an app redesign, as a UX designer, I think one of the first things I would do would be a UX audit of the original app. But since there's not an original app, it can be called a redesign. Hope that makes sense. All right, and then here are your personas. These look good. Sam the planner, Matt the photographer. I need to easily book a space for my boyfriend's birthday party. It's important for me to get the best shots for the best deal possible. Got 2 use cases here. But where did these personas come from? You went from, okay, yeah, you said you immediately kicked off the project by holding discovery interviews. with participants that shared the need to book an event space. You didn't show any of that. You went from, you stated that you did interviews and you went straight into, okay, I think I see what you did here. All right. All right, Rachel, this is what I would do. I'll reword this, saying, it's not a redesign. Reword it, it's a design. You're designing an app. So you start off by doing some interviews with people who will want a book, who would want to use an app like that. I get that. Then, so what I would do is right after that, I would list some of the questions that you asked during your interview, because when they go through your case study, they want to see how you think. And so you don't have to list every single question that you ask. This is maybe say you asked 10 questions, maybe 3 of them, they gave you the most insights. I'll list out the three best questions, and then some of their answers you got from that question. That's what I would do. And then based off of your interviews here, your interviews should lead to your personas. I would assume that you interviewed a photographer. You interviewed a planner. They could come up with these personas, which look good, by the way. Good design. Keep going down. The problem: users need a way to easily discover and book an event space so that she does not waste time researching. I'll reword the grammar here. Users need a way to easily discover and book an event space so that she does not waste time researching venues. You're implying all your users are female by stating this. I'll change this pronoun here so that they wouldn't waste time. Change that up. Gender neutral, because you're saying users here. And then based off your personas, you have a male here. It'd be different if there's some type of app that only women will use, but you have a male here. You have a male here. We synthesized our data and started mapping a user flow that could potentially solve our users' ask. Each team member came with their own flows as we wanted to see everyone's ideas, but this one took a lot of time. We all decided on a final flow while checking along the way, asking questions like, do we all agree? The final flow is a product of many iterations in team alignment. This is not the most efficient way to solve a problem. Each team member come up with their own flow. I don't think, no. That just tells me that you wasn't collaborating with your team. Y'all working independently. And something like this, I should have worked collaborate in Fig Jam or Miro and work together on this flow. Okay, one thing about UX design is ability to collaborate with your team. And it doesn't seem like you did that here. And that probably saved y'all a lot of time by doing it together rather than separately. And, okay. So I guess you use a flow here. Nicely well, designed here. It looks good, clear, to the point. This looks good. Current homepage. Our team knew that the best way to gain and maintain empathy throughout the process was to engage with our users as much as possible, and we made that our main objective through our research and design process. We conducted a heuristic analysis to identify the product's current usability issues. As they stood in real time and had to go back to the whiteboard a number of times to align as a team. We wanted to add a new feature for our users, but we wanted to streamline the current functionality of the app. Understanding how to improve the user satisfaction and experience raised the chances of the digital product success overall. So we continue to keep this equation at the front of our research. Okay, here it implies that there is the app that already exists. We conducted heuristic analysis to identify the product's current usability issues as they stood in real time, which implies that, okay, there is an app that already did exist. So I would have did that first. That's the US audit I was talking about. Usability issues. I would have did that first to see what pain points I would have, and then I would have, and then I would have mapped out the user flow as it was for the original app, and then show like here, I would have showed the original user flow that was broken, that had a lot of pain points, and then the new one, how you solve those pain points with your new redesign. At least that's what I'm getting from this. Again, this looks good, well designed, but here, and then if there's already the original app, I will be pulling users from the original app. Your branding, beautiful. Text looks good. Assets, cool. Style guide, that's cool. We did have access to proprietary information because it's a concept project, so I spent a lot. And yeah, they tell us, and for what I gathered, you're a GA graduate or student as well. Shout out to General Assembly. I am alumni as well. They try to tell us to make it clear as a concept project at the very top, if that was what it is. But it comes off as a concept project to me anyway, because you say you did all this in a 2-week sprint. So I spent a lot of effort making sure that the look and feel of the application functioned like the Sunder app. Everything in this prototype was built from scratch, including the color palette, typography, assets. Okay. Iterations. Okay, so we got the old and the new here. Yeah, I would retell the story to be more clear, Rachel. But the difference between the old and new, I like this. And add-ons, old and new. And also, you should point out, oh, you did it down here. No. I would point out why, because in the interview, and they go through a case study, they're going to be asking you what inspired your decisions. Why did you design the way you did? And so it'd be cool if they had like a couple of lines and notes somewhere explaining why you chose the design that you did, like between the old and the new. Why do you make the changes that you made? I guess they want to hear more than is this prettier? Why are the designs the way they are? Because they look good, but I want to know why. We were able to calculate that the user interface improved by 38% with each iteration of sketches. Grayscale and high fidelity wireframes. Based on our analysis phase we had to go back into the beginning with new understanding of the problem and iterate accordingly. We gained new insights and developed a clearly defined timeline with milestones, taking the time to understand the constraints, allowed us to create a more usable product, learn if our feature would solve a real user problem while reducing the overall cost of production. Okay. You're saying that you improved by 30% with each iteration of sketches. How many sketches did you do? Usability testing here. Quantitative insights, mid-fi and high-fi. Okay. One thing they teach us is that we want to be agile instead of waterfall, right? And so, being agile and working in sprints, you're iterating your testing, you're iterating your testing. So you had your mid-fi, your mid-fidelity prototype, and the next step would be to test it, usability test, right? So, let's say your mid-fi testing was 11 minutes and 23 seconds, and another thing, your usability report is incomplete. I would list what tasks did you give them, what took them 11 minutes, And it do seem like a long time, but yeah. Well, what's the task that you give them to do? And my thing is, and it was 11 minutes and 23 seconds, good or bad? Because if this was bad, you shouldn't have went into high fidelity testing. You should be making no changes in mid-fi, then retest, and keep testing to where, because if you're saying, I'm assuming this is good, 8 minutes, 18 seconds because it's green. You should have been kept testing your mid-fi till you got down to 8 minutes. Then that's when you know that it works. And now that you know that it works, then you go creating your high fidelity prototype. 100% of users. How many users tested it? It could be 1, 2, 3. You know, you say 100% of users. Okay. Oh, successfully completed booking of the event space. Discovered. I'm sorry, Rachel. Discovered the bookings page to confirm the reservation. Found the app easy to use. Okay. So you did list your task here. Just go to the bookings page to confirm. Well, why did it take 11? Yeah, 8 minutes would have been good, I guess. But yeah, all that should have been tested in mid-fi though. But I'm glad you listed your task here. I didn't scroll down enough, so that's my fault, Rachel. 50% of users thought the search page filters had too many cells and pages. Felt that the global navigation icons were confusing. See, if that would have happened, I would have kept mid-fi testing, making changes and retest. 20% of users considered the add-on overlay to be cumbersome. Out of how many users did you test? You still didn't list how many users tested, because that could be pretty high. Something to consider. Key learnings: creating a project plan early on with precise roles and deadlines kept us on track. Our feedback should be appreciated and explored. Reviewing the problem statement, user personas, and client brand throughout the process ensures we are aligned. Moving forward, we use different icons for the global navigation due to a lack of clarity. Within the search page, explicitly prompt the user if they want lodging or event spaces via pop-up screen. Yeah, okay. And that's what we mentioned, because if this was an issue in the, let me keep reading. We achieved for use. Throughout the project, our team was able to adopt a deep understanding of our users, what they need, what they value, their abilities, and their limitations. Gotcha. We achieved the optional usability. And we were excited to reveal that the average time to guest to book an event decreased by 3 minutes after our iterations were complete. Conclusion. As a designing squad, we were able to achieve our goals, researching and constructing the event build out in 2 sprints. Sprint is usually 2 weeks. I'm assuming you mean you built it out in 2 weeks. I'm assuming the project took 2 weeks to do, which you did everything in 1 sprint, which is not a lot of time. I know how GA is, so that you move pretty fast. And then you deliver an MVP on schedule, and praise from CX for the inclusion. Okay. The case study itself is laid out well. It looks good. But you said redesign. You didn't really show the original app. Yeah, that part confuses me, because if this was a project, that means that original app didn't exist, and you fixing it. Yeah, that's what I'm assuming. Yeah, it's just not laid out clearly here. Website versus the app. Yeah, yeah. You got to retell the story here, Rachel. It's a lot of questions here. You didn't show the research for the user interviews, the insights. If there is original app, I would have did an audit first, because it seemed like you went straight to the interviews. Because my thing is, that audit would have helped you come up with better interview questions to really pinpoint the pain points of the app that you're redesigning. Yeah. And then explain. Yeah. Yeah. I will rework this, Rachel. I mean, but the layout of your case study looks good. It looks good. You do one more. Bit Tech interviews. A complete website redesign that created the perfect online practice environment to master the SQL interview process and reduce bounce rate by 49%. Tools used with your role. So create a platform to help interview candidates to refresh their SQL skills and pass coding assessments. All right, again, the language here. Here you're saying this is a complete website redesign, implying that it was a website that already exists. Here you're saying you're creating a platform here, not redesigning one. Like the design here. Project overview. Refine information architecture, connect users to network of support and resources. Refresh onboarding flow. So that it is a website. Create a multifunctional home dashboard. Educate users on the value of BTI membership and what it includes. So I guess you're revising the copy. Challenges cumbersome information architecture. Challenging color palette. Spelling here. Lack of transparency for users. Absence of defined value and offerings. Exorbitant costs to users with free platforms available. Scope of work drastically changed due to designer resigning mid-project. Stakeholder unclear, yeah, and that happens. Stakeholder unclear and objectives and scope of work. Okay, this should be interesting. Show your results here. Nice mock-ups here. You have a strong eye for design. It looks really good. All right, we started 3 main research objectives here. Define existing customer journey from sign up to completion of SQL questions. Understand customer needs around the value they get from BTI. Validate proposed publishing workflow mockups. From here, we start by interviewing data engineers, data scientists, and data analysts to further understand the individual workflows, understand pain points, and see where efficiencies could be made. Okay, that makes sense. Hypothesis, the automating a more structured and informed sign-up process that will clearly define for users. It would eliminate staff burden and create a more accessible experience for individuals looking to practice SQL questions. We listened to our users and added key functionality that we iterated on for further testing. The strategy moved the company forward in a new data-driven approach and create a stronger value proposition for the company, bringing us one step closer to fully realizing the company's long-standing promise of the ultimate platform to prepare for SQL interview. It will eliminate staff burden. Right here, it will eliminate staff burden. So if there's a pain point with the staff, did you interview them too? Did you interview the people interviewing and the staff? I'm assuming on the back end. I'm assuming. Okay, research. Oh, sorry, fly. These platforms can be limiting. Need live interactive feedback. Use multiple platforms to practice problems. Everyone learns differently. Platforms can get confusing to navigate through. Do not see the value in paying for these platforms. A great amount of material is available online for free. Free beats quality. 17 user interviews, 35 I statements. I remember I mentioned this in your last case study. You showed the original design and then you showed the final redesign. Cool. You did 17 user interviews, 35 I statements. That I don't understand. And you show more of your research here. Yeah. Okay. Screen solution, timer, video solution, the ability to leave comments, feedback, timer outcome when intuitive and easy for users to see. Users want to see a live video of the problem being solved. Participants want more of a community feel to the platform. Place a timer in a new location for using the F pattern reading technique and change color scale of the timer icon. Add a video feature and ability to leave comments on SQL problems. Insights. Fitness solutions, listening, navigation. Feedback buttons are too small to click. Okay, so you did. This is based off your. Is this based off the interviews or is this based off usability? Based off your user interviews. Okay. Feedback. Keyboard sizes. Okay. Low 5 to high 5 fidelity. Okay. You showed your process here. Very clean. Alright. Prototyping testing. Prototyping phase project was extensive and we did a lot of iterations because understanding SQL was hard at first. We had to learn basic SQL questions to really empathize with our users and were able to map out the following objectives for our prototype. We discovered from our research, due to the price, I would reword that. We discovered from our research, we discovered that due to the price of services that users wanted to know exactly what they're getting for the money they were spending. We were able to create a value proposition both the stakeholder and our users felt was fair and display this a variety of ways throughout the website. How did you test it? Did you test that? On-demand assistance throughout the process was imperative to understand what kind of support users needed to feel confident solving the SQL question independently, but have help when they need it. Community support. Our testing showed that 32% of participants were more likely to stay and solve a problem when there were comments from the users about issues they encouraged and how they solved them. We added a functionality of being able to leave a comment and page bounce decreased by 15%. Okay. There's something here that popped out to me here. Understanding of offerings, yeah, right here. So, okay, so you got two problems here you're trying to solve. You need a website that's easier to use. That's one problem you're solving. And you're also trying to solve the problem of value for this, because that's nothing I kept saying up here. I didn't say anything at first. I want to keep reading, but it seemed like I would did some surveys. I think you should have did both. Use the interviews and surveys about the value of the website. Can you try to solve two different problems? Yeah. And what I mean by survey, I mean like a survey question could be, would you pay to solve SQL problems? How much are you willing to pay? And then the interview questions was, why or why not pay for a site like this to give you deeper insights. I think you could have benefited from both interviews and surveys. Insights moving forward. Due to a designer resigning mid-project, we were not able to iterate the product as much as we wanted. It was important for us to let our stakeholder know what our users found the most value in, and presented a slide that explaining the three following use cases: office hours, providing users with the ability to meet one-on-one with experts, mock interviews, showcase the value of practice, host a panel. Participants are able to ask questions directly to company representatives. will we achieve our users? We want our end users to intuitively navigate from one section of the site to another without wasting time figuring out how to complete a task, and we succeeded. We found out there was nearly a 50% decrease in page bounce after our redesign by creating a more informative, valuable, accessible platform. Your usability is not clear, because I'm assuming all this came from your user interviews. So you didn't show a usability report to back up your claims. Yeah, you lack a usability report. Your case study kind of a little mixed up here. You're trying to solve two different problems. So, because yeah, you redesigned the site, but the other issue was apparently if for customers to find value for that site, which is another pain point. And I felt like that should have been first. Or to make it a more clean-cut case study was I would remove the whole part about the value of the site, because you stated from the homepage that this is a website redesign. You should focus on the redesign. They just assume that there's value already in the site and people just have a hard time using it. That's what I would do. Okay, you're jumping around in this case study here. Yeah, if you're going to show percentages like this, you need to show a usability report. How many users were tested using this, and what was the task? Like you did the last case study, like the time it took to complete it. Okay, wait just a second. We'll look at your About Me real quick. I was born in Austin. Cool. I went to Austin a year ago for a tech competition. Raised in the historic district of Rockbound, Texas. Growing up as one of four children, earned the nickname Big Ben due to my functionality and a knack for organization. That's awesome. That's really big. My family's commitment to volunteering at a free clinic led us to a wholesome meals from my garden, fostering love for homesteading. Awesome. And more people need to do that now. The world we live in is really crazy, and most of the food they fed us now, especially fast food, is poison. I inherited a passion for the outdoors from my mother and developed a strong drive for DIY projects from my contractor father. I thrive on sharing new experiences with loved ones and relish engaging deep, meaningful conversations to foster genuine connections. And picture with you and your dog. Cool. All this is great. I love this. Like the bio. Really shows your personality here, especially with the picture. I'll probably move the picture up to the bio. I'll have them next to each other. This is extra. I mean, you really don't need it. But if you were to keep it, I'll move it down here and move the picture up here. Because I think it'd be cool to just read your bio and see your picture here. Because this is the dope picture. I like the picture here. Yeah. So overall, Rachel, beautiful website. You do have an eye for visual design. I definitely see it. Your case studies just had to be more. You had to tell a straightforward story, and from the case studies here, there was too many questions going down your case study. Like I shouldn't be confused if there was the app already there or not, right? Showing your usability reports in detail, showing that you keep. If you're not passing the usability test, you keep doing it in mid-fi, because it doesn't make sense to fail a usability test in mid-fi and then go ahead and do a high fidelity and test it again. That wouldn't make sense. I understand these are our projects, because I think I read here that you went to GA, right? Did I read that right? You went to YUX? I thought I read somewhere you went to GA. But anyway, if you are a student of GA, a General Assembly, I know how it can be. I've been through the program myself. Another issue you had to consider, After you fix your case studies, find some real work to add onto your portfolio, because after I finished GA and I would attend different conferences and reaching out to people, getting insights, trying to land my first role, this, that, and the third. And I remember meeting a recruiter at a conference, a recruiter from Microsoft. And, she was very blunt and honest with me. She was saying how they don't like pushing candidates with only projects in their portfolio and not real work. Because, of course, if a recruiter pushing you up for a job, they really got to believe in you. They really got to back you. And so in a very competitive industry, if she had to choose between somebody with projects and somebody who got real clients on their portfolio, she choosing real clients every time. So definitely, this is a good start because that's what you have. But start trying to find some real projects to work on. For me, when I graduated GA, I landed my first role within 2 months, but I was always working ahead doing GA. So even though I was doing the boot camp, I was working with real clients while doing the boot camp. I was just hitting it hard, right? Yeah. So, but once you have the real clients, definitely add them to your portfolio. But for what you have right now, focus on your storytelling, because your portfolio is reaching two different people. The recruiter, who's just glancing at through your whole portfolio probably in 60 seconds or less, and then then the hiring manager was probably going through the case study more in detail, more in depth, and as they're going through it, they shouldn't be stopping and asking too many questions. Of course, you make it to the interview process, you can explain it and you explain more in detail, but you want to lay it out cleanly here, because your design is clean. This is great. Your portfolio looks great. It doesn't look boring at all. And you have some unique projects here. Like, you didn't do a typical full app, which is dope. You did event planning app here. Yeah, but they want to see how you think. Yeah, what making it look good is one thing, but they want to see your thought process here. So you really got to show that, because there's a lot of details that wasn't here. Explaining your decisions. So not saying anything I read that you did was wrong. I just want to know what made you think it was right. Because oftentimes, it's not about right or wrong. It's the ability to defend your decision as a designer. Yeah, I mean, this looks really good. It just has to flow. It has to make sense. And if it's a redesign, show me what the old one was like. What was the problem with the old one? Why are you making a new one? Explain that. Because 1 minute comes off as if you're creating an app from scratch. And other parts of the case study coming off as it really was a redesign. It's not a consistent flow there to me. Here, big tech interviews, you're solving two different problems here. You trying to solve a problem of showing value for the customer, and then you're also trying to redesign it for a better user experience. I think you should focus more on the experience, because that's what the case study is about. Yeah, you're trying to solve the problem, or what value they get out of it. That's something totally different. And that'd be a much more in-depth case study. And I know if you only had 2 weeks to do a project, it's not a lot of time. Even doing it full time is not a lot of time. But I thought in this case study, you did lay out things better. I can actually see the research you did here. I got you even pulled a quote: "Free beats quality." I get that. A great amount of material available online for free, so why pay for it? I get that. So this is solving a whole different problem you're trying to solve outside of the redesign, and it should be one or the other. This is clean laid out, but I'm assuming this is like this came from the user interviews. Wait. Yeah, original design. Yeah, so yeah, even here, so you had the old design and the new design. the problems, you fixed them. After you fixed them, next step would have been the usability. And the usability should have been done in low-fi, not even mid-fi. Well, you do mid-fi. And then, yeah, it should show the usability test details of how your new design solved the problems from the old design. It should flow. Yeah, moving forward. Yeah, insights moving forward. Yeah, maybe mention there's a problem with the defining value in such an app. Like, that's something you could have mentioned. Cool. Yeah. And I'm glad you mentioned the problem that you had a designer drop out mid-sprint, because, that happens. So that's cool too. Oh no, but great job, Rachel. I mean, you're almost there, I think. You're almost there. So I hope you found my review insightful. Hope you get some things from it. Like I said, this is strictly my opinion. Just take it with a grain of salt. So there's some things you disagree with, that's a-okay. Like, that's absolutely fine. Like I said, it's not right or wrong. So it's some of the questions that I had going through your case study. And to anybody else, want me to review your portfolio, hit me up. Have any additional questions, hit me up. That's fine. But I appreciate you tuning in, and to the next one. Later.